Hey everybody, this is Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead, and I'm here today to show you another recipe. And I think on one of my previous videos I had told you that I saw this lady make this recipe, and so I'm trying it, and we're going to see if it's a recipe that the family's going to like. It's budget friendly, and we'll get it started here, and we'll get it cooked up. And it's a casserole, but it has to cook the pasta on the stovetop, and then we'll put it in the oven and we'll see what we've come up with. I've got some homemade bread baked. I didn't bake it. My Howie's aunt, she lives right down the road, and she surprised me yesterday and brought me some homemade bread and some homemade pumpkin bread and some dinner rolls, and we'll have that with our supper and we'll enjoy. And let's get this started, because I think it'll be a budget friendly meal that'll help us all out, and see if we can't do a meal that's meatless. Around here that's rare because my family likes to have meat for supper, but we're going to have a meatless meal, and let's see if Blake cares for it. Okay, the water is boiling. I've brought this pot to a boil, and what I do is I put lots of salt in it and make it like a salt water. Not that I've ever been to the beach or anything like that. I never have been, but I always heard the cooks on the Food Network say, salt your water like it's seawater. And so I always cook my pasta in salty water, and it gives it a really good, imparts flavor to it. And so that's what I've done. I put, I was liberal with the salt. The water has come to the boil, and now I'm going to put my pasta in it. Now tonight I'm using, this is what the lady used. I'm sorry if I doubt she'll see my video, because I saw her video on Facebook. But nonetheless, I'm going to use this cheese tortellini. I'm not trying to advertise anybody's brand, but this is the one that was available by doing grocery pickup, and it was $1.82 a bag. I'm going to use 2 bags and probably have leftovers. And it says it's ready to use in 3 minutes time. So the water's come to a boil, and I'm going to put those in there, and we're just going to let those cook. And when they are done, I'll come back and we'll go on to the next part of our recipe. It's really simple. It's just a few ingredients, and you know how I feel about making sure that I get everything out of the jar. So we're going to use 2 jars of sauce, 1 spaghetti sauce, 1 Alfredo sauce, the noodles, and then cheese for the top. And I think this will be a really good recipe, and we'll talk about some ways to make this recipe a little bit more interesting. Maybe talk about how we can make it off of our pantry without even having to have special noodles for that, because these tortellinis are frozen. And we'll see if we can't figure out how to make it from shelf pantry supplies that we have. And also we'll talk about different meat options and sauce options, and we'll see if we can't figure out a way to make our budget stretch. And we all know that that's something that we need to do today, is to make our budget stretch. Okay guys, stick with me. I'm going to let this pasta cook, and when it's done we'll be back and we'll go on to the next part of the recipe. Okay guys, casserole's out of the oven. I've got the bread sliced here, and it looks delicious, and we're going to have some of that with our supper. The casserole is nice, and the cheese is melted, and so I'll take a little bit of it out here. It's nice and saucy, and it's really piping hot. So I'll show you what it looks like, but I probably won't eat any because it'll burn my tongue. Put a little bit of this sauce on the top of it. Now you could sprinkle the top of it with cheese, Parmesan cheese, or how he called it, stinky cheese or foot cheese. But anyway, this is what it looks like. And it was, the whole casserole cost less than $6 for a 9x13 casserole that'll feed a pretty good sized family with bread, and you could have a salad. Make it a delicious midwinter supper. Quick and easy, stretch your budget, and that's what we're all looking for. Let's all work together and do the best that we can to look well to the ways of our household. This is Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead. I love you, and until next time, we're gone.